Yeah. Yo, did y'all hear? So, yo, Angela Yee, man. How y'all feel about Angela Yee, man? You know, the Breakfast Club whole thing that went down. How y'all feel about that?
I don't feel
You don't feel?
about it. Yeah, she whatever. She could have whatever. I don't know what happened. What happened?
So Yee said she went on Tamron Hall and she was like, yo, it was hard for me to have a way of getting a leg in or have any backup because I was the only woman that worked on the Breakfast Club, and I didn't have any backup, any support, whatever the case is. That's predominantly why I wanted my own show, yada yada yada. Right? That's what she said loosely. So, I wanted to know how y'all felt about that. What up, Catcher?
Does she
Um,
have her own show now?
yeah, it's called Angela Yee Way Up. So she left the Breakfast Club. Now she got her own show. The Breakfast Club has been having, if you don't know, Breakfast Club is a syndicated radio show based out of New York. And but what I'm saying is so now she got her own show and she went on Tamron Hall, and I felt like she could have kept that a little bit more cute. But I ain't ever wanted to tell somebody not tell their truth. That was her truth. But Envy jumped in the comments, and this happened this week. And Envy jumped in the comments and was like, "Yo, that's not true." Or whatever, and then Little Mama followed and was like, "Yeah, you was responsible for gaslighting some of the situations that happened at the Breakfast Club that wasn't in support of other women." And then Erica Erica Mena jumped out there and also was like, "Yo, you knew all the time that Envy was married, and I was dating him, and I didn't know he was married, and all this other stuff." So they was calling cap on what Angela Yee was saying, but the interesting part to it all really stemmed from last week we did a topic called fake empowering something about empowering women, right? And I feel like empowering women, like it's cap, and it's interesting that in a situation where she seemed like they was going for the woman empowerment lane because Tamron Hall had caught back. Oh no, you said you was the only woman up there, right? And then Angela Yee was like, yeah, I was the only woman. And they was trying to like bond over the woman empowerment thing. And then other women like Lil Mama, like Erica Mena, jumped up in the shade room comments was calling cap. So I just thought it was real interesting that when where do you go when you can't go for where do women run when they can't go for the empowerment lane? You understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes that's the place to run to. So the fact that she couldn't run to that and people was calling cap, and I think Envy even said there's mad women behind the scenes that was that was helping the show run. So it was just interesting. I wanted to know how you guys felt about it. That's a little tidbit of a background.
So when women, it's either two ends of the spectrum. Either you are an outlier, you are the only woman, you don't have any support, or you have all these women supporting you, but there's cattiness going on, so you can't survive. You
Mm,
have to scratch your way to the top.
mm.
So there's really no right or wrong answer. There's really no win for losing
Okay.
because at both ends of the spectrum, there's seemingly quote unquote a struggle.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Mike, 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 Mike. Welcome back to another episode of Live on Broadway Podcast. Greetings and salutations to you all. Greetings and salutations to you all. Welcome back to another episode of Live on Broadway Podcast, where the situations matter more than the relationships. Perspectives will be respected by everybody. If this is your first time tapping in, don't be easily threatened or angered because much like you, all the giants here first started off as a perfect stranger. We asked everybody tap in and get in tune with what we doing on Live on Broadway Podcast via YouTube. Broadway the Giant, tap in. Hello. Make sure you tap in by way of Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else podcasts are available. Greetings and salutations. I got my giants on YouTube. Shout out to the YouTube community. Tap in with us. Terica Lolo, I see you. What up, though? Allison D. Lundria Shantae, I see you. What up to my Instagram family? What's happening with it? All right. With that said, welcome to Live on Broadway podcast. My name is Broadway the Giant. I'm an accountability coach. On this platform, we like to make people stand in front of the hard work, which tends to be themselves more often than not, which tends to be ourselves, because I'm included in that, right? A lot of times the Giants sit cute on mute until it's time for them to speak, and then they hold me accountable and vice versa. So I'm very interested to have this conversation with you guys here today, because we're going to talk about some things, and it's going to go up, it's going to go down. But I promise you, when it's go down, it's going to feel so lovely. Live on Broadway podcast. How was your weekend? How you guys feeling out there? Tap in with me. Let me see the response. Hit that like button up top. Hit that link on Clubhouse and hit that like button, please, and thank you very much. And let's get this conversation underway, man. Tonight, before I get to anything else, I've been having an amazing day. Let's just wake that up and get to it, right? Sometimes you come into the pod and you know what's ahead of you. You know what's ahead. You know what the conversation going to probably generally sound like. And, it can go many different ways, but it feels good to walk in here on a day like today and feel as amazing. Sleep is so important. Y'all got to sleep more, man. Sleep is very important. Get some rest. You understand what I'm saying? Before you do anything that you got to give your all to, get some rest. Ladies and gentlemen, before your significant others go out there to fight the world, give them some peace of mind, male and female alike. My day started off, I had an amazing conversation with, I want to say, I guess it's, well, like, if you know, right? I had a conversation with a young lady, and I want to dedicate this podcast to her. Sienna, I want to definitely dedicate this podcast to you, because you was in part why my day started off such an amazing way. The mother of my daughter, if you know, you know. If you don't, that's on you. But we had an amazing conversation this morning, man. And it started off about my baby girl, and then it casually went into the direction of just her being in the loop and knowing what's going on and seeing what's going on by way of Instagram, social media, what I'm doing, and she has some really dope and encouraging words to share with me, man. I put it on my post on Instagram, and it moved me, man. It definitely moved me to a point where I don't want to go all the way into it, but it just felt good to know that people that's known you for practically your whole life, or half of your whole life, they get it, they see you in this encouraging, and they champion for you. You know what I mean? It's on the sidelines, and I think it's important for us to pick people out in our life that leaves footprints on our hearts. You understand what I'm saying? And one thing she said to me was, she was like, yo, man, I know you always think about the dollar. You always going, and you always been that way. But for as long as I remember, you was always rich. You just working on your wealth right now. And I was like, bitch, I called her to tell her something about baby girl, and now we start talking about what we talking about, and it just felt amazing. So I dedicate this podcast to Sienna. Definitely love the people that's in your life. Definitely, appreciate them, and remember that you put them in your life. You understand what I'm saying? So anything that comes as a byproduct of them being in your life, you put them there, be it good, be it bad. With that said, I want to give her flowers, because I thought that it was really, really dope conversation that we had. And now I'm back to the regular scripted programming, right? Live on Broadway podcast. We're going to play some videos. We're going to have some talks. And this conversation this conversation is tonight. I can't stop giving flowers. I have to give flowers to Allison, the amazing Allison, because she behind the scenes and she said, "Yo, Broadway, I want to have this conversation. It's important." Yeah. And I was like, "All right, let's do it." So I said, "God damn it, what's my attire, Allison? How I gotta come in?" She said, "God damn, you better put on that leather because if you watching us on YouTube, God damn it," I said, "I need that full metal leather jacket." So let's go ahead and let's talk about it. What up, though? Lopez, I see you. I like it when it's Lopez. You should change your PTR name back to Lopez. I like it when it's Lopez. What up, though, Trillion? Live on Broadway podcast. Let's have the conversation. The conversation that we're talking about tonight is going to go in many different directions, but I promise you it's going to all come back to this first topic. The topic of the conversation that we're having tonight is independent women stem from undependable men.
Fuck yeah.
We're going to have that conversation, but I want to play this video. If you want to watch the video, go to my YouTube, Broadway the Giant, tap in with us and watch this video. Of course, Trillian will pull up for this topic because this is her bag. She's going to have a lot to say. Tap in with us, Live on Broadway podcast. Check us out. Here we go.
If you are a man and you can't pay all the bills, I do not want you to join any masculine modern women conversation. If you are not a man that can provide a safe space for her to be vulnerable enough to embrace her femininity with you, then shut the fuck up. If you don't provide and protect emotionally, financially, spiritually, at a high level, shut the fuck up from a woman that can provide for herself. Quit complaining about these independent women. If you not a man, it's gonna be a solution to that. The reason why there's so many independent women out here is because like you be so not dependable. If you provide her with a hard life, don't complain about the fact that when she come in your life, she not being soft. You want a woman to be submissive to you when you can't even submit the full rent payment? All y'all do is offer stress and headaches and wondering why this woman ain't your piece.
Sheesh.
I'm the panic.
Don't say it in the background, say it in the foreground. Tap in with us, Live on Broadway podcast. Don't be talking about nothing if you ain't providing her. Listen, if she comes to you and she's providing you with, don't speak about nothing modern woman, nothing if you ain't willing to rise to the occasion and take care of that woman. Hello. We're going to have a conversation tonight. It's a lot. Listen, man. Listen, I got the right bunch. And shout out to Terica. I see you guys on YouTube. What up, though? Lolo, I see you. Let's have the conversation tonight. Independent women stem from undependable men. Is there any truth in the statement? Is there any truth in the statement? I yield to the men first, respectfully, ladies. Is there any truth to the statement, men? Do you believe independent women stem from undependable men?
Yeah, if you're just thinking about somebody wanting to be taken care of, and in that sense, yeah. But if you're talking about women wanting to be independent from men so they could do what they want to do without a man, then I think that's a whole nother topic. But we're gonna stick to what you're talking about right now. So yeah, I guess that's what it would be for those that are complaining about that.
So here's the thing, right? I wonder. Do independent? Well, before I ask the question, what up, though, Jarvis? Ladies, is there any truth to that? I'm coming to you first, Trillion. Independent women stem from undependable men. Are men undependable? Do you feel like as a collective, men are undependable?
I thought you was gonna stick with the men, bro.
Oh, my bad. I thought you ain't say nothing after D. So
he on a different type of time today, Dave. You gotta watch him tonight.
Oh God.
Go anyway. Go ahead.
Nah. Go for it, Dave. Y'all ain't gotta wait for me to introduce you. Go ahead, go for it, Dave.
No, I appreciate that, bro. I like to play on words, undependable men. I think you don't want to put too much onus on the men. Women are independent sometimes because they have to be, Because if you know there's a deadbeat whatever dad or somebody, and he's not doing his part, then they're forced to be independent.
Mm.
But you gotta keep the onus on them also, because you decide who you marry and who you have kids with. Sometimes that's part of your decision making. So you gotta take responsibility for the men you choose. So yeah, but so to answer the question, I see both sides, but we let's keep the responsibility on the women for making good decisions as well.
Mm. So he's
This gonna be
saying,
interesting.
so he's saying, don't let them off the hook, ladies. You ain't off the hook. Trillion, respond to that.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, David. Let's hold the men accountable for being undependable sometimes. But yeah, it's all love. Well, I mean, from personal experience, and my apologies, I'm in the airport if it's loud, but I didn't really understand independence until I came across a situation where I was in a relationship with someone undependable. And it was my mistake letting him lead and me not having too much going on.
Mm.
I advocate for being the kind of woman who could take care of yourself, but also balancing to let masculine energy in to lead you in that direction and let them be the provider and stuff like that. But I personally learned from being financially abused. I let my son's father control all the finances, okay? And it was a silly mistake I made at 23, 24 years old. So that will never happen again. Um, but yeah, I learned how to take care of myself. I literally say that to anybody I'm with, like, don't think that I need you. You're in my life because I find you useful to me to
Mm.
an extent, but I have my own shit going on. I
Mm.
and it sucked because I didn't really want to learn how to be independent. I liked this. I liked the position I was in. I liked my place. I stood at my motherfucking place and still talked my shit. But it was a rough lesson. So yeah, I feel like while women should be independent to take care of themselves,
Mm.
there needs to be a balance to let that masculine energy in. And just to reiterate, my personal experience was that I came across a really undependable man and had to start from zero. I mean, I had a baby, one luggage with all diapers in it, and like two panties, and that was it. And, I developed myself into what I am now, which I don't have mansions or whatever, but I'm very proud of myself.
So did you allow that situation from that one man to taint you for all men?
Oh no, definitely not. But it's been I don't know how to put it. I don't really well. It depends what you mean by tainted, because I don't fully trust any man to take care of me.
Based
I
off of that one man situation?
it, yeah, no, because it was just a nightmare. So
Mm.
I will let a man think he's in control, to be honest, like, oh yeah, babe. But mind you, like, I'm still like stacking my own bread, and I got my own thing going on the side. You can't I just don't believe it's smart for women to solely have everything that they rely on in their life from a man, because men
Mm.
can be petty. And y'all know how I am, and y'all know how I talk. Like, I will definitely let men do their thing and spend money and all that, but you have to have something on the side, or you're gonna make a horrible mistake. Especially, and one more thing, I'm sorry, especially if the relationship goes south and you want to leave, then they control everything, and then what? You're like fighting to get $200. That's nothing.
That's the point I was gonna ask, bro.
Mm.
So are women making that decision based off of just let's just say all the men on the stage or all the men in their lives was providers and did whatever, but they still men and they still might get into arguments, they still might move around. Does a
Yeah.
woman really want to just say they want to solely depend on that? So to the point of the question, it makes sense, but it only makes sense up to a certain point where like would women, they're human beings, like they're not slaves to men, and I think that's what they've been trying to say all these years. So I'm wondering from the woman's point of view now, like if you really step back and think about, forget about what happened in history and all that, if we both started at the same time, being able to make the same amount of money doing what you wanted to do, would you rather just lay up with a man and be his do everything to nurture the home and all that and stay home and allow him to control your life, or would you want to have your own because you are your own person? That's what I want.
Wake that up.
Control in what way, though, Damien? Like, elaborate a little bit.
Big bank, take little bank. Whatever I say, go.
Make it make sense.
I don't know about that. I view it as partnership.
Mm.
So
dictatorship. Ain't no partners.
No. See, that's the thing with this whole thing of like submission versus non-submission and this. It's about who's got the mission and the vision.
Mm.
That's going to benefit the family as a whole for legacies to come. That's the way I look at it. If for example, let's just say, I'm just going to use Damien as an example. Let's say me and you in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? If you got the vision that makes more sense, that's going to benefit us as a whole, then I'm right there in a mission with you. But at times it may change because I may have certain expertise areas. For example, if I'm good at accounting or budgeting money, then I need to take ahead the lead on that mission. Like, I think of every little task or every small steps that we take as a couple. It's like a mission, you see those movies where you go in for a mission and you complete the mission.
Yeah.
As long as it's benefiting what we out to accomplish, then at times you're going to have to wear and take the lead. And sometimes I'm going to have to take the lead. You have to take a role back because you may have more expertise area in that area, but we all are winning. It's all benefiting the overall goal and mission. So that's the way I see it.
I'm with you on that.
What up, collectors? We got the collectors
go ahead,
up
bro.
here.
Yeah, because that's what I'm
saying. Hey, collectors.
Hold on, guys.
What's up, everybody? Peace.
What's happening, Angie? We got Storm in here, Tish. Yo. We got the family in here. I see the Giants on Instagram. What up, though, Queen? I see you guys. Trey, I see you. Listen. You know what? Respectfully, because when it's my time, I don't want to be interrupted. So I'm going to yield my mic to the Giants. Whoever want to go, please knock yourself out. Go knock yourself out.
So, yo,
what's up?
Only thing I want to say to what Shantae said is that's what I'm understanding what she's saying, but this is not what the title is talking about. Independent women were birthed because of undependable men. Undependable.
Right. Can I jump in? Because Big A Jarvis getting in there?
I'm gonna give it to you right here. But that's what I'm saying. If the men were dependable, but now that meant that your life depended on me to do whatever I said I wanted you to do, and respectful to what Shantae just said. Obviously, I'm not that type of guy, so it'll be an equal thing. But you gotta wait till I come home with the money to do something with your life. Are women saying that they would rather have that? And that's I keep trying to get back to that. But go ahead, Jarvis.
I think the title says independent women stems from undependable men. I think women, there's a difference between ethnicities. Like, different race of women had to go through different things. So I'm saying to myself, like, okay, let's dig a little deeper. Let's scratch on the surface. Okay, what made the man undependable? Like, is it because of his lack of ambition and grind, or is there an adversary, a oppressor, somebody that got their foot on their neck that they can't make it nothing shake in? And now the woman had to go and be a maid and breastfeed the master kid. I ain't trying to go all in the depth, but I think we should, if we gonna
have the conversation. Let's have the conversation.
Yeah, like, if we're gonna get to the solution, let's get to the root of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Let's not put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. Let's really get in there and see what's going on. So, am I is the man undependable? Because there's some bullshit. There's men that lack drive and ambition. And okay, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the guys that are go-getters, but things are in the way. So I'll leave it like that.
All right, hold on 1 second. Collectors, are you ready, King?
I'm always ready. I stay ready.
All right, I'm gonna throw it to you for a second. Collectors, tap in with me 1 second, beloved. How you feel? Did independent women stem from undependable men?
No. No. You know what that sounds like? A stigma again. Turn a man against a woman. And that's a crazy stigma because look, I was just at work and I work in the health field. I just seen a man, he was deaf in both ears and he got some kind of health fitnesses. But his wife was up and active.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, if your wife is in a wheelchair, or say you're a man and you're in a wheelchair and your wife goes to work every day, but you make sure the food's ready. You help her out with the bills, you know, however you make your income. You're picking up and dropping off from work because a man in a wheelchair can still drive.
Sure.
An independent woman is somebody who either doesn't have the help or doesn't want the help. You know what I'm saying? Some women are independent by choice. Just like some men, they're independent by choice. They're like, okay, well, I don't want the help. I want to do it all myself. Some people are like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think independent women stem from whatever that is about men, because I feel like independence is built. Your parents teach you how to brush your teeth on your own. Your parents teach you how to start bathing on your own. They teach you how to start being able to move around the city and, you know, use transportation on your own. So I think that a form of independence from both sides should be brought into a relationship.
Hello.
A certain form of independence from both sides, because if I fall, who's going to catch me? If you fall, who's going to catch you?
God is going to catch you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, after you hit the ground and crack your fucking head, let's deal with reality here. God sent you that man. He sent you, you know what I'm saying, your friend or whoever to catch you when you fall. And like, you know what I mean? We talking about realistically things here.
Yeah.
You know, we always going to keep the faith. That's the first person we put the faith in. You know what I'm saying? Through that faith, he may deliver somebody. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, like the brother was just saying, everybody's not going to be equal. You might have this woman who's doing this and that. You know what I'm saying? Then you got your man. Like he said, what makes a man undependent? I know women and men who are doing this and that, and their wives or their man might be the person taking care of the house. That shit ain't no joke.
Yeah.
Making sure them kids is behaving, getting that homework done, getting them ready for school, preparing them how to take care of themselves further in life and be respectable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Making sure everything is cool around the crib, so whoever is coming back to peace. But I don't think that's made by that. You know, I think that's made by either choice or programming.
Oh man. Okay. Now it's interesting because I'm very interested to learn. We got Angie in here. We got Kev Pryor. We got the Giants in here. The room's building. What up, Tish? We got Taylor in here. Tap in with us. Talk to the people. We having a conversation. Independent women stemming. Do independent women stem from undependable men? Let me say this before I throw it to the room. It's very interesting that we're having this conversation because I feel as though, you know, I'm going to yield my mic because I got some stuff to say and I want to understand what's the general consensus based upon the men and the women in here. There's only been, but a small spectrum of women that spoke on this topic. Allison, Trillion, we got Angie in here. We got, Shantae spoke. We got Tish Storm. We got some faces in here. Okay? And some women that I've actually had the privilege of being around a time or two. So I'm very interested to understand and learn who's who and what's what. Hold on 1 second, God damn it. Shout out to the collectors for dropping that badge. I appreciate that, beloved. Tap in with us one time. Drop that super chat. Hit that like button on Clubhouse by scrolling up to the top and hitting that link. Please and thank you. Help us as a community. Thank you. I appreciate it. Tap in with us. Angie, welcome, Queen. How are you?
What up, Broadway?
What's happening with you, Queen?
Live on Broadway podcast.
Yes. Angie, you know, I want to get it from you because Angie, what up, Lala? Angie has an opinion. right? And Angie, you know, shout out to Angie's World podcast, amazing. And Angie, you've always had an opinion, some of which I agree with, some of which I disagree with. But what I always respect is that you have an opinion, right? Some just sit in the background, cute on mute, and don't ever say anything. And I guess in some strange world that makes sense, but we're here for opinions, right? So I want to know, there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong answer inside of the things that we're saying. It's just opinions, right? So I yield to you, Angie. Do you feel as though independent women stem from undependable men? Let me remix the question so that we can all be on the same page in what we talking about tonight.
I knew he was going
Is
to call on me.
men the reason why women are independent?
I knew he was going to call on me, y'all.
Have a go at it. Please knock yourself out.
This is, independent women stem from undependable men. Yes and no. Because I think because you have women that are just born in their personalities to be very independent from a young age, to kind of want to break away from the control, break away from people boxing them in.
Okay.
They want to be leaders and stuff like that. I kind of had that personality, right? So I was always very independent, but the other side of it is also, if you have that personality and you may not have had like a caretaker, a dad that was around or something like that, that'll force you to become even more independent because you don't have that male figure. So then that goes back to the title, Independent Women Stem from Undependable Men. So let's say you had a father that wasn't dependable based on, and I'm not judging anyone's dad, my dad, whatever. Let's say it's something like that. Then you have a person who is, genetically independent. Then they really have to go out in the world and be independent because they don't have the luxury of being dependent.
Sure.
Does that make sense? So it's kind of both.
Okay, I'm rolling. So here's the thing, right? Because a woman want to go, please have at it, Lala.
Okay. So hey Angie, I'ma agree and
Hi, boo.
disagree. And I'ma agree because it can be both. There's just some women out here that are just very independent instinctively. But
Hold on, Lala. We are recording a podcast. If you are fumbling through loose leaf paper, please stop.
I sat my bag down so I can talk.
Okay, my bad. Go for it.
But I kind of disagree a little bit with what Angie was saying because one of my very best friends had a father in her life, all her life. And the reason why she says that she's very independent is because her father was the example and she refuses to settle for anything less than the example that was shown to her. So I feel like sometimes when there is a male figure missing, that can be true. But I also feel like if you've had a strong male figure in your life, there's just certain things that you're not going to allow. So that was it.
All right.
I feel like that adds to my point. Sorry, Broadway. I feel like she added to the point from another perspective.
Sure.
Not necessarily like disagreeing. She just added a new perspective.
So here's the thing, right? And shout out to Clubhouse. The beat is building. The room is building. Keep sharing. Hit that link up top and hit that like button. Show your social currency. Live on Broadway podcast. What up to my YouTube giants, Instagram giants, Facebook. What up, though? So here's the thing, right? I feel as though we could sit till we blue in the face and play the blame game, right? We could play the blame game. And much to the conversation we was having earlier slightly about Angela Yee, right? And her the fake woman empowerment and it's always good until women empowerment is always good until the women that's supposed to be empowering you is actually going against you and saying, nah, you tripping, you was actually gaslighting with the rest of the guys. Then your point of view and what you were doing is actually null and void. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because I think that it's easy to point the finger. It's easy to point the finger and say the men did it. right? It's easy to point the finger and say the men did it. I'm going to play the clip eventually again, but homie, Ace said a lot. Ace had a lot to say. And in part what he had a lot to say about was stop. If you're not a dependent, if you're not adding value to a woman's life, step over. Right? The question at hand, I disagree with it. I don't think men are the reason why women are independent. Right? I don't believe that. I believe that women are independent based off of some of what Kat said, some of what a collector said, some of what Lala said, and some of you too in passing. You kind of like came up to it, hopped over it, went underneath it, but didn't quite go through it. You know, I feel as though men, for a man to be the reason why women are independent, that just sounds crazy. Some women was born into certain situations and that don't necessarily apply to them. Some women was born into situations and they didn't have a father there. That's not the man that they're dating for. That might be the mother that chose that father to procreate with and chose the wrong man to be with. The fuck? What are we talking about? So when we sitting back and we saying, it's the man fault is why I'm independent. Nah, it's easy. You see, I have an emphatic there's a disconnect there with me when we start blaming people for why we're not great, or for why we not why we aren't great, because that wouldn't apply in this case. What I'm saying is. If you want to be independent, just say that. You want to be independent. Don't make it, I'm waiting for the right type of man to show up for me to be and rest in my femininity and relinquish, my relinquish control, because I'm tired of being in control. I'm in control all day at work. I want to have a man be in control. I call Cap. What up, collectors?
I got a question. And I want a lady to answer this, one of the ladies. Because they was answering, they were saying that they felt they agreed to the thing, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I want to know, what do these women consider independent?
I just wanted to piggyback off of you, Broadway, and then I'm sorry, respectfully, I have to go because I have my own thing I got to do on YouTube real fast.
Go for it.
So I think what I'm hearing you say, I agree with to a certain extent. It's just that the question I think needs to be asked are, okay, are we independent because our expectations, like we put too much expectations in a relationship? Because we shouldn't enter in a relationship with any expectations or make the other person feel obligated to do something. I feel like if you're going to be in a partnership with anyone, that whatever you do or you don't do should come out of love and not out of obligation or an expectation, like, oh, you're my man, so I expect you to do I mean, inherently, just out of human nature and just being, a generous person, yeah, you should do those things. But to have an expectation of it is something completely different. So maybe that's why you pose that question, is that are we pointing the finger at men like, you made me this way, when really we need to be introspective and say, well, why am I putting upon these expectations upon someone else when...
Chill, Lala, chill. Somebody throw some bucket of water on her. Gatorade, I don't care. She just want a chip. She on fire.
She said she had to air it out before she fell out. So.
She said that. If she said that, she did that. You hear me? Shout out to Lala. I mean, is there anybody giving resistance on what Lala is saying? Because I'm very interested to hear that POV as well.
No, I ain't got no resistance. I'm still along the lines.
Yeah, you see, I pick a side. God damn it! I draw a fine line through the sand and I pick a side. It's not.
My question is, what's independent though, Wade? Because these same independent women will get with a man and say they want him to help with this and help with that. What do they consider independent? Because you can't say that you're an independent woman if you and your husband go 50-50 on the bills. But you can say you're an independent woman. You know why? Because you put up your 50%. This shit starts to make no sense when you start spending in certain ways. Because you
Collective,
got
what he's
independent
saying.
women.
Go ahead, collect. I go after you. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
So you got from the title and from the energy on the question that Broadway posed is it's almost like did women's feminism and all that happen because men wasn't dependable and so they had to do what they had to do. They couldn't rest in their femininity, or did they do it because
Okay,
they
on their
just
own.
want?
Check this out.
That's what we
Check this out. I got you, Storm, right now, Queen. I promise. I yield to you in a moment. Are men the reason why women are independent? No, we're not the reason why. Do men need to step up to the plate and rise up to the occasion and be better leaders? Absolutely yes. Yes, we do. We do as a collective. And I say yes, we do because, God damn it, I'm a man, even if I'm not cut from that ilk. But I'll digress. I have so much more to say on that. I want to yield to Storm. Go for it, Queen.
Good night. So,
Are you West Indian, Storm?
I am.
You see, because she said good night. You see, West Indian people say good night. Americans, we don't say good night. Only time we say good night is if we going to sleep.
We say good evening.
Right, good evening. What else, Storm? Go for it, Queen. Queen, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I keep hearing, how did women become independent? How did women become independent? And I don't want to sound like a historian. However, this happened in World War II when all of our men went across seas and either died or came back with mental health issues, or they were, physically impaired, and women had to stand up. And they had to now hold down the house, right? So if you really want to lean it on history and facts, it is because men become undependable, but in an honorable manner, right? We don't want to take away what they did.
That's cap. That's cap.
That's not cap.
Stop the cap.
That's cap.
I agree. There was several wars before World War One, and we fought wars in our own country.
Let me finish my thought, because you can dig in a book and see this. Okay, so the reason women began working to begin with, we didn't work. We were at home in the kitchen. We were homemakers. We were therapists. We were the healer in the house. The only reason we stepped out into the workforce is because of those wars. And Vietnam did it the worst. And that's when a lot of our Black men and Spanish men went out into war, and they came back with mental health issues, and they came back deformed. And that is the only reason a lot of women got in the workforce to begin with. And this feminine movement came on the heels of that. You can check your textbooks, miss. That's not cap. That's real. Now, I did not have that experience, right? My grandmother came out of that experience. My grandfathers were in those wars. However, as society changed and it became more acceptable for a woman to stand in her own space, the feminist movement took ground. And that's where a lot of women caught hold to, okay, well, I can be what I want to be as well. We can do it. And that's when those mantras came along. Right. So if you want to hold it in an honorable basis, yes, miss, that's exactly what happened in history.
All right. I beg. All right. So let me make sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying because of the war and Black and brown was pulled out of the household to go to the war, and women had to learn how to fend for themselves. That's what you're saying.
It wasn't just Black and brown. It was all men, American men.
Okay.
It was American men.
I'm only because you said brown and Black. But anyway, so you're saying all men. The bottom line is men was pulled out the household because of the war. So that is the reason why women became independent.
That is why we entered the workforce. That's when we
entering the workforce and being independent is two different things. So the reason why I'm highlighting that is because I call cap. I don't think that's the reason why women became independent. I believe women became independent because there was some women that was raised they was the only child. and they was raised in they was raised in dual family households, and for whatever reason, some men probably just wanted little boys and they had to teach their little girls how to become dependent, because growing up, you see certain men take advantage of little girls, right? This is a cycle that keeps repeating itself, right? Boy meets girl, girl has baby, they get married, girl has baby, kid grows up, parents don't like certain things and they want to change things around, so they lean into their kids and they teach their kids certain things so that the kids don't repeat the same things as the adults had to go through, right? It's an endless cycle. It keeps repeating itself. The reason why I call cap is because in some situations, I don't personally believe it was only the war that women started becoming and feeling independent, right? Because frankly speaking, how did we get to a point from pouring into our families as men, right? Leaders, men, household, right? Pouring into our families and encouraging our women, and then they go to the workforce? Because respectfully, and I mean this with the utmost respect, women are image and reflection of men. So if men isn't doing something, if women aren't doing something, more often than not, it's because probably men drop the ball here or there, right? And I don't mean to say that to blame men. I'm just saying that in traditional households, I'm not going to say through and through, in traditional households, that's the way it tends to be. You hear women say all the time, like Trillion popped off her mic a second ago, and Trillion said, financial, this, a man took advantage of me like that, XYZ. I'm going to park there because I want to hear from the people.
I'd like to speak.
Go for it, Queen. I love when you come in the second half about your topic. What up, Ali? Go for it.
I let them action. I started. I just enjoyed watching it burn.
Right.
But what I would like to say is we are, even though it is the word that is very, very prominent, independent, we live in an interdependent society, and we feed off of each other's energy. And I feel like it is important to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
However, by understanding that you need other people, i.e., your partner, your parents, to survive, and some may say no. I mean, that's subjective to you and your relationship, right? But ultimately, you need other people, and it stems from lack of consistency and support that causes these quote unquote independent women. Because if you don't have the proper mother to give you the guidance to choose the right man, and the father that is going to say, hey, I'm going to be here. It's like riding a bike. Your dad is teaching you to ride a bike, and you say, hey, dad, don't let go of me. And he lets you go and you crash. That kind of brings down your trust issues. It brings about some trust issues, and it's going to affect you in some way, shape, or form. And this is where it comes from. Those little things, they absolutely matter in our park.
So with that said, right, I want to segue. Before I segue, I'm gonna play one more video and get you guys' POV on it. Live on Broadway podcast. Tap in with us. You heard?
Y'all aren't man enough, and that's why women have to live in reality. I hate that for us, but I can explain. You should be such a man of your word that anything that comes out your mouth, I could damn near take it as law, without question. It should literally be as simple as, hey babe, I need this done. Him. All right, I'll get it done.
I want to hear what you guys hear as a result of playing this clip. So I'm gonna bring it back. I want you guys to tell me what you heard from this clip. Live on Broadway podcast.
Y'all aren't man enough, and that's why women have to live in reality. I hate that for us, but I can explain. You should be such a man of your word that anything that comes out your mouth, I could damn near take it as law, without question. It should literally be as simple as, hey babe, I need this done. Him. All right, I'll get it done. Me. You know what? I really appreciate you. You want your sick duck? I don't even ask for a time frame so that later on I could be like, hey babe, you remember when you said you would? No. He said he's going to get it done, so I know it's going to get done. I should be so sure that you're aware of our surroundings, looking out for me and protecting me, that I don't even look both ways when we're walking together crossing the street. Like I'm up in La La Land trying to record the sky because the sunset is pretty and the clouds came out perfect. And literally, I know that you're going to stick your arm out like a mama that broke too hard in the car to protect me because I'm like one pace behind you if there's any danger. I should honestly kind of be a little bit scared to tell you if a man is like trying me or something, because I know like for certain there's gonna be one less person above earth if I do. The bottom of the barrel, bare minimum basic thing that women want from men is a man that does what he says he's gonna do. A man that can provide some form of financial stability and shelter. And a man that makes me feel safe in a world that is very, very scary. I'm genuinely curious as to what you think the benefit would be to a woman conceptualizing the hardships of this world and enduring it with you. Like what's the good thing?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
I'm ready.
Go for it.
I'm ready. First of all, you are not my son. You're not my child. Like, to give that example of you should feel safe, like when in the car and somebody put their hand out. I get the analogy she's making, but it's given a little like unrealistic to the reality that we're living. I did like the point that she did say some form of stability, like she didn't like give a dollar amount, so I can deal with that. But a lot of the other stuff, like she's really sounding like she really wants an overprotective. And there are those guys out there. Now, I don't know if she's going to really be on deck when she does run into one of those dudes that's really ready to kill everybody and possibly you if they think that you're talking to somebody else behind their back or whatever. So that's a thin line that's what she's asking for. Maybe for women, it comes across that's the type of security that you want when you speak of security from a man. But outside of me protecting you all day, what else I got to do with my day? That sounds like a lot of energy. I just got tired listening to her say that. and it's not that I wouldn't want to do it, but she sounds like she would have, I don't have to ask twice because I just know you're going to do. But does that mean that everything that you ask for, you're going to get? Like, because shit is not unlimited. Excuse my French. It's not unlimited. But again, she did specify that a reasonable, she didn't say like it had to be unlimited. So I'm not going to gaslight the conversation like that, but that's the way it sounded to me. I just was listening to her tone, like, whoo.
So
I'd like to respond to that.
Go for it.
That. Good evening, everybody. If you don't have your word, you have nothing. A man who does not keep his word has nothing. So I think, it's about, are you going to have the integrity to follow through with what you're going to say that you are going to do? I think that what I heard from her in saying it's not about you got to be on MDK and just randomly off everybody who stares too hard, but I think it's about the prioritization of her safety, of someone's well-being, and stepping outside of yourself. And because in turn, what is reciprocated is that similar energy from your partner, from your woman, and how she has to function. And if you, like I said earlier, if you can't do the bare minimum, I mean, I understand. I don't think it's unreasonable to say, I tried and guess what? It didn't happen and I wasn't able to do it for X, Y, and Z reason. However, there was some type of effort to execute what was being requested of you, because you would want that type of effort to be expelled so that you could get what you requested executed for you. That is what it is. It's about reciprocity.
Got it. What up, Sincere? We got Sincere up here. What up? And Sincere, tap in with me, King. You got anything to say on this? We're having a conversation about, and I'm about to segue into something else. Hold on, Sincere. Let me say this. We talking about solutions this season, right? That's what we talking about this season, solutions. So how do we, because we know better, everybody knows better. How do we do better, right? So here's how we do better. I believe, to the topic, independent women stems from undependable men. I believe that, frankly speaking, we got to stop playing the blame game, ladies. Stop playing the blame game. Stop looking out and start looking in. That's not independent to you guys, though. We play a part with our shortcomings. We got to look in, too. I think it's very easy to look out opposed looking in, because if you look in, we don't tend to be as hard on ourselves as we are on people. You running late for something, you're going to be very hard on the person. Somebody's running late to meet you, you're going to be very hard on them. Yo, I said 7 o'clock. Why you wasn't there 7 o'clock? Woo, woo, woo. You running late, you're not that hard on yourself. I was late. My bad. I'm sorry. My bad. Yo, it was traffic. Yo, the bus came late. Yo, my baby mother, father, sister, aunt, uncle, babysitter didn't come. It's all the excuses in the world, opposed to just saying, yo, you know what? I'm sorry. Next time I'll do better. Right? I don't think it's the men. But I wanna go a little further in this conversation. I was having a conversation with a very close friend of mine, right? And we had a conversation, and I said, yo, can I have this conversation on the pod? She said, ha, 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 Broadway, you always thinking, you always in the content space. I said, but I'm just saying, you got to admit, this is a good conversation to have on air. So she said, nah, go have at it. I would love to hear what the people say. And I promise you, by the end of this pod, it's all going to tie in. So the conversation that we had, and I promise you, independent women stemming from undependable men, is going to make sense. Let's do it this way. Storm, are you in a relationship?
Not anymore, no.
Not anymore. Okay. Let's see here. Bougie, are you in a relationship, Queen?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Well, not a formal relationship. I'm kind of dating around at this point.
Okay, I respect that. Taylor, are you in a relationship, King?
I'm in, no sir, not yet.
Oh man, sounds like a complicated situation. Jonathan, are you in a relationship, beloved?
I'm in negotiations.
A nigga will nigga. Not I'm in negotiations. So the reason why I asked that question is, all right, so nobody want to be in a relationship tonight on LOBP. The question that I want to ask you guys is, and I'm gonna start with Storm, your last relationship. What did you call your significant other?
Babe.
Babe? Did you have anything else you called him? Anything specific to him?
Yeah, Papa.
Papa? Okay. Who I went to? Bougie. The last person that you was in a relationship with, what did you call him?
My sweetheart, my babe.
Your sweetheart, your babe. Did you have anything independent to what you called him specifically?
Not really. I would just be very like darling, kind of. I would refer to him by babe.
Okay. Cool. Taylor the same.
Yeah, I would just call her sweetheart, my boo or something like that. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Jonathan, I promise you I'm going somewhere with this. Everybody mute up.
No, I see where you're going with it. I stick with the script. Same thing.
Same thing? All right, cool. All right, so this conversation that we was having, it went a little something like this. She was like, no, I was in a restaurant and the waitress was like, to my boy, he was like, she was like, he was trying to get the attention of the waitress. The waitress was like, un momento, papi, give me a second, un momento, right? And I thought to myself, and when me and my homegirl was having a conversation, she said, I said to her, yo, why is it in the black community, right? And in our culture, it seems as though women our women have an issue with identifying us as daddy, right? But in other cultures, 6 1/2 dozens is the same difference. They don't have an issue with identifying their significant other as daddy, right? And then she said, no, bro, I'm not calling another man daddy. You bugging. I ain't my father. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I was like, cool, cute, heard you. I was like, but when you get dressed up and you looking amazing and you know all the effort that you put into looking how good and amazing as you look, do it feel good when he puts you up on a pedestal and he bigs you up and he calls you all these different things? My queen, you're not his queen. Like, you might be the woman in his life, but all right, cool. Anyway, do it feel good? She said, absolutely. But I'm not calling no man daddy. I said, all right, cool. I get it. But what do you call him then? She said, I call him babe. I call him hub. I call him honey. I call him all these basic bottom line names. And I said, oh, I get it. You don't call him daddy, even if that's what he wants you to call him. So my question to you guys is, should you call him daddy if he ain't your father? I got so much to say, but I'm going to yield for now. I'm going to throw it to the room and see what they got to say as a result of the question. Ladies, gentlemen, are you okay with your ladies calling you daddy? Gentlemen, ladies, how do you feel about your man calling your man, identifying your man as daddy? Because the fact of the matter is, to bring it all full circle and why I said what I said, it's not a... God damn it. Calling him daddy respectfully, let's just wake it all the way up and get there. Bro, we're going to start off. It's not about you. Calling him daddy is about him. Hello? Calling him daddy is about stroking his ego. We're aware what the fuck it is. Why give pushback and resistance if you know he wants you to call him such? If he's giving you the key to the door, why are you using keys that don't unlock the door? Tap in with me. Giants, I yield to you.
I call him Papa.
You call him Papa. That's what Storm said. That's a variation of daddy. But go ahead,
And he
Benny.
calls me Mama.
And he calls you Mama. Wake it up. Here we go.
From the cap.
Go ahead, Benny.
Is he calling her daughter?
What?
Baby girl.
That's not one and the same, Benoit.
Baby girl.
You calling it baby girl. Thank you. Hello, D. Thank you, D.
That's as close as you're gonna get to. Come on, Benoit. Don't semantics, yo. Don't start.
So I'm just saying. So the issue that lies here is if he's giving you the key to unlock the door, why are you doing what you want to do with it? Go ahead, Benny.
But all jokes aside, so like, you know, I'm from Ghana, and culturally, women do call their husbands like Papa. That's their way of referring to their man. That's what my mother would call my father. Growing up, I would hear her call him that. So, you know, I did see that growing up. Is it something that I voluntarily do? To be honest, no. But if I was with someone and he just liked that, I probably would concede to it. But yeah, that's about
Okay, bro, hey, waking it up, bro.
Let's go, Benny. We gonna have this conversation tonight on Live on Broadway podcast. Listen.
Cute on mute tonight.
Listen, if he wants you, I'm very interested. I'm so interested. I promise you. I'm coming to Instagram in a moment. But I promise you, welcome, Bambi, to the conversation. Shout out to Sincere. I'm very interested to know if he's giving you the key to unlock the door. Why are you coming in through the window?
Like I said, I'm not gonna voluntarily do that.
Sure.
But if he expressed that he liked that, then yeah, I'll probably go along with it.
At the
I'm
end,
with the double down. Yo, bro.
right. You see her, right? Who is this person? Who is this? They took Benny account.
So you only
every
gonna
woman,
call
every
him
woman
that
will
because he
subconsciously do that.
asked?
Hold on, Adriel. Hold on.
Go for it, Currency. What up, though, my guy?
I was good, bro. I was just asking, like, due to her statement, she only say it because he asked. Like,
Look at God, Currency. No pushback on Better Watch. She doubled down
I'm
on
just
it.
asking because you know why? I feel like if only because he asked, that's the only reason why a woman would be saying it. It don't have no feeling behind it.
I disagree with that. And the reason why I disagree with that, Currency, my bad, Benny, is because if you don't know, you can't hold a person accountable for what they do not know. If you know that she wants to, if she knows that he wants to be identified as a certain thing, she's not giving any pushback. She's saying, all right, okay, babe. Well, is there a reason why? And then he probably explained whatever, but it don't even matter the reason. She's saying that I'm willing to concede to what he's asking. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a person. Now, it's a difference if you're giving heavy pushback on it. Are there any ladies, Bambi included? Is there anybody that's giving pushback and saying that I'm not calling my man daddy?
I did. I wrote it on chat.
I think I don't like that.
Send him to the Google, bro.
Only because
we on Bambi. Go for it, Bambi. I'll come to you in a second, Tay.
It's disrespectful to your real father, okay? Because when you have a father, that comes into your head, and that's fucking weird.
Why is it disrespectful, Bam?
Now this.
Because that's not my father. Why would I say that?
You're not his queen neither.
In that bedroom he is.
He's spanking you.
He's not.
Wait, get up.
No, he's my partner.
He's spanking you, Bambi.
No.
Yo, Bambi, respectfully.
You walk right into that
In
door.
the bedroom, he's my partner.
Oh God.
Okay? So I think it's a little weird. I know some people are into it, and if other people are into it, that's okay. But I just think it's a bit much. I can understand for people who don't have a father in their life, and you might be confused, but it's a bit much.
So here's the thing, right? So you're married right now, right, Bambi?
I am.
What do you call your husband?
I mean, my husband's made that request. Not that I call him that, but he,
That is not what I'm asking you, Bambi. What do you call your husband?
I call him sexy.
You call your husband sexy. Hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. You call your husband sexy. Is there anything else you call your husband?
I call him a lot of different things. I call him sexy. I call him his name. I call him hubby. But I call him mostly sexy. Yeah.
Okay. Now, have you ever been married before, Bambi?
No, but I've been in long-term relationships.
Okay, cool. That's great, right? So outside of him being your husband, right? What respect? I mean this with the utmost respect, Bambi. What the fuck are you? Oh, excuse my vulgarity. What are you calling him that's independent to anything that you ever called any other man?
I've never called any other man sexy like that.
Sexy, respectfully, is a generic, watered-down phrase that you're using. Hold on, let me just wake it up. We call people these names that we call baby, honey, hubby, love of my life. What do you call him that specifically points out characteristics that he wants as an independent person in your life? As an independent person, what do you call him?
I don't want to put it all out there, but I call him a lot of different things. I mean, I'll give you another one. I call him baby love.
Nah, I heard baby love. That's a West Indian thing.
He's her baby though. He can't be daddy.
I mean, I call him different things. I call him
so easy off for Bambi. Easy off for Bambi. But the point that I'm driving home here, right, is to say that why give so much? And again, easy off of the daddy portion. But if you wanna, what are we identifying our significant others as outside of, and this is the reason why I'm saying this is because this has a point. This plays a part of the independent women. This plays a part.
I think in my head, it's disrespectful to my father. You know,
you ran this by your father, or are you assuming you ran this by your father? Have you had this conversation with your father, or is this is this assuming? You said that
my father passed away. He passed away, but it.
My sincerest condolences. But my question and why I'm asking you this is did you say, hey, Dad, would you feel some sort of way about me calling my husband Daddy? You said that to him?
I've never had that discussion with him.
Right, my point. So you're assuming that, right, that's my point. You're assuming here that he would have, it's disrespectful. You see, here's the thing. You're blaming something on something. You're blaming something on someone that's not necessarily true, that you don't know is necessarily true. But you're going all the way, right? You have some content creators, right? They'll create a whole narrative and make something true that's not necessarily true, but just to make their point. And I feel like that's what you're doing, Bam. You're making a whole scenario and saying that it's disrespectful to my father, but you don't know that to be a fact because you never had that conversation with your father.
Can I just say something, bro?
Go for it, Ben. Go for it,
so
Benny.
So in marriage, it's the father that walks you down the aisle and gives you off to the husband. And that symbolism means that there's a transfer of responsibility, and now he's responsible for you. So now your father is no longer responsible for you. Now it's your husband. So is it disrespectful to your father if he's now taking on the responsibility for you for the rest of your life? Assuming.
Where is Benny? Who is this person? God damn it, she's on. God damn it, she's doubling down. She's in rare form. God damn it. I think Benoit's like me tonight. I wear my red mask and I be capping for the women. Tonight, I be caping for the women. Tonight, Benny got on her black mask and she's caping for the men. God damn it, I'm surprised. Hello? I gotta take this jacket off. To that you say what, Bambi? Hello? Transfer of power. God damn it. Responsibility. Call it what you want to call it. Just don't call us late for dinner.
Hey, I don't know how it is nowhere else, but down here in the South, when you have that terminology, like we got big mamas down here, you know, the granny was like, that's like a term, that's like a rite of passage,
right?
You know, and like you got a woman,
the matriarch of the, right? The patriarch, right?
But you might call the woman that you're pursuing as a young man, you might call her little mama, you know, because you ain't big mama, but you definitely little mama. You got the potential. It's actually still it's a term of endearment. It's actually a term of credit or you uplifting her. However, when it comes to the men, and the old folks down here, you call mama and daddy. That's their names. When they talking to each other, mama, hey daddy, that's how they talk to each other. In fact, shit, I ain't learned my mama in them name until I got up to like 8, 9 years old. Hearing other people say it.
I know that's right.
You're not allowed to call your parents out their name. Boy, you get your teeth knocked out. So to earn the name Daddy, it wasn't nothing to do with nothing sexual, just like that. If a woman calling you Daddy, you on top of you got your rite of passage. It wasn't nothing that you asked for. If you telling your business, that's just something that goes without saying. I just believe that a lot of these women don't have good history with, or even that culture that Benny spoke of in their family, where they seen that daddy in the household, or even seen that type of affection. Because down here, that's exactly what it is. When you get the family unit together and they strong and they last to the point where you get to see the parents turn into the grins and everybody acknowledging them. When everybody show up, your mama ain't the big mama. Nah, big mama right there.
Right.
And she get all the respect. They go, Big Daddy, he right there. He get all the respect. So the day that you get to be called daddy, you earn that. This ain't no play for nobody that's want a little pet name. Nah, this is something that you got to earn, because everything that a daddy is what you do on a day-to-day basis. I ain't no clocking out for it.
Wake that up. You see, and the reason why I brought up earlier, with my homegirl, and I said, yo, when you getting dressed and you putting in all that effort and you putting on your makeup and he, and he sees you, he like, wow, damn, babe, you look amazing. Like, men, respectfully, we probably don't take as long to get ready, but we took time in planning that date. We took time in making sure these bills and these things is taken care of. We took time to make sure that we counted twice so that we didn't have to count. We measured twice, so we only had to cut once. You understand what I'm saying? Like we take the time to make sure that you have what you need. So to some extent or another, if you're not going to call him daddy, what are you going to identify him as? That's independent to his characteristics and how he rises to the occasion. Because the fact of the matter is, trust is very easy to break. Very easy to break. It's a very delicate string, a very fine and delicate string. And it's hard as hell to put back together once it's been broken. The reason why I'm speaking about trust is independent women, undependable men. There's a barrier that's been broken and you're trying to mend it back together. Women, you probably feel like Bambi feel if you're listening. There's some women out here that feels like Bambi feels. That feels as though I'm not calling my man daddy, right? And it's not to mean it's literally, it's not a direct translation. Daddy means father, the person that birthed you. It's not that. It's ebonics. I think the word is ebonics, right? It's a figure of speech for something else. You get what I mean? It's not directly ratio 1-to-1. All I'm saying is he's rising to the occasion. He's doing what he should be doing. What's the issue with identifying him as he wants to be identified as?
It's subconscious.
Tell me more.
When women call their man daddy, I agree with you. I mean, clearly you've earned some level of the utmost honor from your woman, right?
Yep.
And it's subconscious in a woman's mind, because if they had a father that protected, provided, and did everything that they were supposed to do to take care of them, and your man is doing everything that your father did, so subconsciously you're viewing your man as your daddy.
Let me think about that. Subconsciously, you're viewing your partner as your daddy because he's rising to the occasion and doing some things that your father did or probably didn't do, right? Okay. I see your angle in that, King. The only thing I would say to that is I don't think I don't think when we call our ladies little mama or mommy or whatever the case may be, we're looking at it as you're literally my mother. I don't think anybody looks at it like that. I could be wrong. The way I see it is anytime I ever said a little mama or said mommy or whatever the case may be, I was looking at her like I was speaking something into her. Some things that I probably seen, some things that I didn't see, but I was speaking it into her. I was speaking and breathing life into her, right? So that she can be and rise to the occasion of what I either saw her as or what I wanted her to be. It was either or, right? And going back to the thing I said earlier, yeah, mommy, daddy, all these are generic things, right? That's why it's also important to have something I think is independent to what you identify your significant other as. Not just generic, watered down, basic, bottom line, secondary names.
Yeah, so I actually disagree with your last comment, Broadway. I do think a lot of times when dudes are looking for a woman to really settle down with, they do look for women that have a lot of mothering qualities.
Sure.
You know, keeping a clean home, cooking, being nurturing, caring, knowing how to tend to children. So I think on the flip side, subconsciously, they want a woman that is mothering towards them.
Well, I see. What you hear is disagreement. I feel as though as you agreeing with me. I perceive that differently, Benny. I see that as qualities. Yes, because I agree. The same here, right? But when I see a man call a woman mommy, I don't think we're thinking in our head, unless I'm wrong, unless the ladies feel as though when you call a man daddy or Alice, anybody in here that's probably called their significant other daddy, do you feel as though you're looking at him as your dad?
Well, I
Absolutely
would
not.
say that. Oh, I would say that men and women are different because I know that when men are young, if I'm not saying all young men, but if they see another woman that's cute, they call her like mommy, mommy, mommy. That's not your mother, but they think that woman's cute, and they might call her mom, and it's just like, why are you calling that mom? Oh, because he likes her,
Well,
and he
no.
sees another woman. What
If you grew up
girls,
in the Bronx, you
females
call
aren't
your
like
women
that.
mommy.
So D said, if you
Females
grew up
aren't
in the
like that.
Bronx, you call your women mommy. But see, so all right, I think we're playing semantics here now, Bambi, right? Because I don't think that's I think a kid that's uninformed, and that's just learned something, just like adults, we have these inside jokes when somebody start using these big words. You'd be like, oh, you must have just learned that word because you keep using it. Right? When you're a kid, when you just learn a word, you tend to keep using it because that's the word that you know. It's not like you're really it's not like you're really saying this is my mommy and that's my mommy and every woman is my. But anyway, going back to the point that I wanted to make, I think as though, yes, I agree to Benny's point and what you said a second ago, Bambi. We do look for these motherly and I think fatherly qualities as well. You want to know that your man is your father, your mother is more often than not the very first man or woman you love, opposite sex, right? So when we are looking at our significant others, we're looking at them and we're saying to ourselves, like, I would like my lady to be domesticated. I would like my lady to run the household, right? I would like that. That's what I grew up seeing, right? Now, it's a difference if it's vice versa, and I'm dating a woman and she saw her father always there. She saw her father rise to the occasion, pay the bills. Her mom didn't need to work for nothing. Subconsciously, because that's the first thing we learn. It may be the furthest thing from our mind, but the first thing that we look for. But easy off of Broadway, I'm gonna throw it to you guys because I'm very. What up though, Sean? I'm very interested to learn how you guys feel about it. Kev Pryor, what up though? How you guys feel? Should you call him daddy if he ain't your father? Wake it up. Giants on YouTube, I see you. Terica, I see you.
What up? What up? Man, I want to hear from the ladies because sometimes ladies use it as a term of endearment, like we might use mommy, but sometimes they
Not
use it
tonight.
real manipulative. Like we're really trying to make you feel better so that they can have a little edge on you.
So and it's funny because the way I was able to have the conversation with my homegirls because I had a conversation with my other homegirls several years prior to. And we was all just at a kickback, right? Couple guys, couple girls, nothing, nobody's dating anybody, just friends. And we was having this conversation with my homegirl and dude called, and as the phone is ringing, we like, yo, call him daddy. Pick up the phone and somehow, some way, put that daddy in there and see how he responds to you. Surely enough, she picked up the phone, she called him, hey, what's going on? What's going on, daddy? How's your day going? And you could see him he just leaned into the daddy too. I mean, homeboy was just smooth. He just leaned into the daddy. And we like, let's go. I don't want to say her name. Let's go. And we just kept championing her, right? And then it got to a point where she started using it too much. And he's like, yo, you all right over there? You good? Because he knew that she never really called him that and she felt some sort of way. And we was trying to put her up on game as men. Daddy is for us. It's not about you and how you feel. Calling him daddy is about him. If you don't want to stroke his ego, say that. Men, a lot of times, we know what you're doing, ladies. We know. You pour a little bit, put a little bit extra spice on it. No matter how you chuck it up, it's all you feeding our ego. We feeding your ego too. Today you might be a 7, but he dressing it up, making you feel like you a 20. It's all ego. You want to feel good by your significant other. And there's nothing more important than to feel good by your significant other. Because they see you on your off days, they see you on your on days. So I don't think there's anything wrong with identifying your significant other as daddy. I don't personally think that I'm your father. But I do think, to what Benoit pointed out earlier, we walking down this aisle, I'm trying to take care of you. I'm trying to take care of this household. I'm trying to provide us a future so that we can get away from the workers' inequity. Tap in with us, though. Live on Broadway podcast. You know the vibe. Hold on, D. Hit that link if you're on Clubhouse. Scroll to the top. Hit that link. Show your social currency. We appreciate it. Drop a super chat on YouTube. Drop a super chat on Instagram. Drop a bag. Y'all know the vibe. Tap in with us. What up, D? Go for it, King.
Yeah, now I was just going to say some women be holding that shit like it's the big joker in the deck. Like, let it go. Let it go. Like, you'll be surprised how far it take you. Depending on who you're dealing with. And I think, most of the time we hear that when it's in a sexual atmosphere. So, and we know what it is. Like, I mean, if you're a dude, she just saying that right now. She don't call you that.
Don't call me nothing in sex that you can't call me away from it. Hello?
Listen, just use it. Just use it. Let's try it. Like Broadway say, do a little test. Do an A/B test and see what you get from it. Oh, now here.
I will say this: those who don't want to use it, it seemed like that might be their pride of their ego.
Let's go!
Okay.
Let's go, Sean!
Okay.
Wake that up! Woo! God damn it!
Yo, Broadway, now I'm getting high daddy texts, Broadway. So
Let's go! I love to hear it. Let's go. So I rephrase this question. Ladies, are there any of you guys in here that's stuck in your ego that don't want to call men daddy? Hello? I'm talking to Ari. I'm talking to Shanice. I'm talking to Letitia. Hello? Oh, all the ladies quiet. Oh, y'all ain't got nothing to say. Brittany, y'all cute on mute. Oh, what a coinky dink. All right, well, here's a topic you guys probably do want to talk about because it's something that's been going on in the media and something that you guys, and please feel free to candidly say how you feel. I'm going to play this clip, and I know you guys going to know it if you guys have been checking your feed. Everybody's been talking about this talk. So I want to talk about it tonight on Live on Broadway podcast. Check us out. Y'all know what the vibe is. Live on Broadway podcast.
You got to ask Luna that question too. Bring it back later.
I got you, King.
I got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live, telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. 7 kids by 7 different women. Hello. Wake it up. Let's talk about it, Giants. Y'all know what we came here to do. Live on Broadway podcast.
Not access denied. He's a grimy, dirty dick.
Yeah, that's an access denied. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Listen, my motto is if you having kids, bro, it's your responsibility to take care of them kids. Show them the right way, the right path. Show them how to become young men to become grown men. Don't just have kids and just have them out here wilding and doing whatever. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep a buck. Listen, I got 5, and I was there for all 5.
You take it. So you got 5 that you know of.
I know all 5. One don't want to deal with me. It's cool, but I still take care of him.
So what about the one? So what about the one that you just let it leak a little bit in her before you pulled out? You ain't counting that one?
I'm counting all of them. All of them.
Nah. The one. What about the 6th one? The 7th one? The one you just let it ling in, and you understand what I'm saying? You counting that one too?
Yeah, it's still your responsibility. As men, we need to take care of that, bro.
I got you, kid.
I mean, listen. It takes two, right? We both decided to do it, right? Granted, you split, cool, but as a man, handle your business.
So he said that he told them, I don't want to be no father. He told them, I pay for the abortion. He told them, hold on. He told them, I'm not, listen, I don't want no kids.
Wow. Well, here's what it is. I don't agree with him, but
you let loose.
Independent women, now you have your opportunity to be independent. Go find that.
Right.
Oh,
let's go, Sean. Wake it up. Now this is your time to be independent. One mic. God damn it. Stand in front of that. Easy off the men. I want to hear the women stand in front of that. How y'all feel? Hello? Shanice, you there? Ari?
I'm here.
All right, Shanice, talk to me, Queen. How you feel? 7 kids, 7 different women. Sean said, well, you want to be independent. You want to throw up your ring finger and hit the Beyonce, right? Now you, I yield. Go for it.
I don't necessarily think it's about like, I mean, everybody can like point, do the pointing game, like, oh, women this, men that. I think it's really extremely unfair to the children in their life. I feel like, it takes two to tango. So it's like, even if he told those women like, hey, I don't want kids, like there's other women out there he could have found that also don't want kids who are on birth control or something, or, anything of the sort to where they don't really want to have kids. I feel like there's a bunch of people in this world. If you don't want to be with someone who have kids, then be with someone, who also doesn't want kids. But when you're with someone who do want kids and you're like, well, I'm gonna still fuck them, you're technically taking the risk of having children. And if that does happen, it's still unfair to the kids. So I'm not gonna point the finger and say who's right or wrong. I'm gonna just say like, I just feel bad for those children, because now they have a father who didn't want them and you have a mother who could have made better decisions. So,
man, fuck them kids right now. Hello? This is a conversation we have.
That's such a safe answer.
Can we keep into consideration that he admittedly is irresponsible and told them that?
Exactly.
And it's also, I guess my thing is, it's also when, so it's so many different variables to this story. Like, I mean, we just literally heard a man rant from emotion. There was no fucking logic in that shit. And if anybody says there's logic in it, like this man literally went on a rant on some, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, so I'm going to emotionally spew this shit out. But I ain't heard one man yet say this nigga was acting out of his emotions.
So here's the thing. Wait.
I don't disagree.
Hold on.
Very truthful.
Luna, hold on. A lot of times women use that for men to make men feel emasculated, right? Oh, he's being emotional, right? I want to say this to you, right? Specifically, you, Luna. I don't think he's doing anything. I think he's showing people, and he showed these women exactly who he was. And for whatever reason or another, I'm not saying he's right in justifying his F-boy tendencies. But what I am saying is he told them what it was, and they still chose to have the baby. So why are you coming to him looking for a handout and looking for him to take care of these kids? Own it. Take care of the kid yourself. Get him to sign the paperwork so that he don't have no rights to the kid if he don't want to take care of the kid, and assume all the responsibility yourself.
But
okay.
We know he's telling his side of the story. He's a piece of shit.
Right.
Wake that up.
Because there's no way. Hold on. There's no way in the world you telling me this man told his 6 chicks, listen, before he got the pussy raw, he told it.
He didn't tell her before.
He said, listen, I got 5 baby mothers,
and that's
shorty.
what I was getting to.
I got 5 baby mothers, shorty. I don't take care of none of my kids.
That's a
He
fact.
told her the same thing he just said on that drop.
Exactly.
That's a
And
fact.
she still gave him the pussy raw.
Wait.
He's telling us his side of the story. He's
Yep.
running around like a lot of these clown ass niggas running around
Yep.
doing, shooting shit up,
Wake
and
it
then
up.
taking care of your fucking babies. If you don't want no baby, nigga, put on a condom or make sure shorty on birth control.
Whoever
Plain and
said
simple.
that, I was in
Or
complete
put it on her
agreement
back.
with
If he
Or put it
said,
on her back.
I don't want
So-
this, that means
No,
you're responsible
no
for
way.
what you don't want.
He said D said or put it in her back.
He's responsible for what he don't want. He said, I don't want kids. So you're responsible for what you don't want, my nigga. Put on a condom. Once he didn't put on a condom,
Exactly.
he made himself responsible.
So
Easy,
my
easy,
question,
easy.
By default,
got a
once he didn't put on a condom,
I
he
got a
made himself
question.
responsible.
Shout out to Aaron the Plug for dropping them badges. I appreciate you, King.
Yo.
So
I appreciate it.
He's funny. He's funny. It's funny the way he delivers it. But I
Hella
doubt if
funny.
the 6 females that dumb that he's
Yeah.
actually giving that story.
So
And they're all
wait,
like,
one
"Who's
second.
better woman?" Maybe
One
two.
second. I want to tap in with Honey Love. What up, Honey? Tap in. How you feel about it?
Okay. I have a lot to say, but I am fed up with women and men, both.
Tell me why.
Because both parties need to be held accountable. Women continue to put themselves in these situations with men, even when they are honest,
Talk about it then.
and they continue to go forth with whatever they want to do, and then want to turn around and point the finger. And if
Hello?
a man already told you. So I'm fed up with women on that side. Men, he should have held himself responsible.
And been more
Collector-
upfront. Yeah.
Like Collector said, if he did not want to have children or be responsible for any children, that he should have took responsibility and wore a condom and left it at that. But that was all taken away. He did not have that privilege once he made that decision to have sex, unprotected sex. That privilege is taken away. You did what you did. Now, this is the consequences. Just like how a woman has a consequence, he has the consequences as well. And now he's going to be, affected by the harassment of being, the calls or, being served papers because of him not taking care of these kids. That's his consequences. And their consequences is having to chase after this man and harass him for whatever they need for these children.
So look, Honey, real quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my hot take. I don't think this is gonna be the last time we see this guy. I think he's gonna have like 2-3 more other kids, and it's gonna be the same difference. And then we're gonna be saying, well, we already knew that he was a piece of ish because he had 7 other kids, and now he's having these other women. Respectfully, ladies, there's some women that don't care. If they hear he got good sex, they gonna go to him and think that they're gonna be the anomaly, like Ciara and Future. Ciara thought that Future was gonna do right by her until until it all revealed itself. A lot of people, men alike, but we talking about what we talking about. Some women think that they're gonna be the anomaly and homie gonna make the concessions for you. He don't wanna be in. He just want to have sex. And his sex is probably bomb because this all he do is walk around slinging a third leg to any woman that will want it. I'm trying to be respectful with my verbiage. But you guys get what I'm saying.
Yo, Courtesy wanted to tap in too.
Go for it, Currency.
So my question would be, because I heard the man that said, basically, if they don't want to have the child, if that man didn't want to have a child, he should have slept with a woman that did. But see, I feel like that's the problem right there. And this is why I don't disagree with homie on him. Basically, I'm pretty sure he done told them women before or after that he's not going to be a father. He most likely had that conversation. And no one is really having a conversation, if that's the case, every time, do you want to have kids? Because if that was the case, if people wanted to have kids and a person didn't want to have kids, they probably want to have slept with that person. But that's just me using, wishful thinking. But most likely people want sex. People are eager to do things because they like each other. And it probably did happen. That's one thing. But my point of this is I'll only agree with him because if she did not want to have none of them women wanted to have them kids, but he wanted to have the kids, there's nothing you could tell those women.
He didn't want to have them kids.
Why is
though.
it a problem? What happened?
He didn't want to have those kids.
No, I'm saying, yeah, but see, this is why I don't disagree with him in his speech on how he feels about himself being a father. I don't disagree with it, because if he did want to be a father and them 7 women did not want to have them kids, all 7 of them would be in an abortion clinic or wherever they are to get rid of them kids. So why is it that's where the double standard lie when a man doesn't want children or don't want to be a father. It's a problem. He a deadbeat, this, and a third, which he probably agreed, and he probably seen him be a deadbeat before having a kid with him. But as soon as a woman don't want to have a kid, there's nothing a man can say about that.
Go
ahead, Benny.
But my thing is, he pulled down his pants, gripped his shaft, and stuck it in her with no condom on.
My.
So where is the accountability on his end if he knew he didn't want to have any children?
Very true.
True that, but he also admittedly and honestly said, "I am irresponsible."
But
that's the first question you should ask a man.
But he might have. It sounds like he didn't say that before he had sex with him. It sounds like he had sex with them, came in them, and then said, "I'm irresponsible. I don't take care of my kids."
I'm pretty sure it probably went like that more than 9 times out of 10. That was at least 3 of them. And at least 3 out of 7 he caught like that.
I agree. But the whole thing is, did you ask him, did he have children? If he told you the truth, he has 4 by 4 different mothers, 3 by 3 different mothers, 6 by 6 different mothers. Why are you dealing with him?
You know what? You know what's interesting? I
but
think
if he don't want his kids, he probably don't claim them, so he ain't disclosing that information.
Well, here's the thing real quick. Here's the thing real quick. I think a lot of times, myself included, we come in on a pod and we have these conversations without that big A or that long D in front of you and the temptation in front of you, right? We're having this brain, we're having this conversation without temptation brain, right? With temptation brain, I think it makes it a bit more situational. I think without the vulnerability, because you hear a lot of women say, I was vulnerable, so I did. I don't know. I haven't ever been vulnerable enough to sleep with somebody. That just sounds crazy to me. But anyway, easy off of that. What I'm saying is we come into the pod a lot of times and we say things and we think we're all the rationale in the world. But I'm sure it was a little bit different in their situation because maybe they was drunk. Maybe I've been in situations where women force themselves on me, right? Easy off being the victim, Broadway.
And we gotta stop acting like raw sex is not a good thing.
No, you said it. That's the flu. Currency. That's called the Freudian slip. You like real sex? You don't wear condoms? Talk to us. This is your moment.
Nah, I said we gotta stop acting like it doesn't feel good. I'm not gonna say it is good.
Currency, tell your truth, King. Hold on, one mic on Currency. Hold on, Currency, tell your truth, King. Don't let nobody shame you, King.
So we gonna act like every person on this stage in their life wore condoms every sexual encounter every time. Nah, after a while, people get comfortable with each other. Now, in their situation, I feel like he was just going straight raw dog. And
all right, Currency, that's fine. Easy off of this situation. Hold on, I want to talk to you, Currency. How many times have you worn a condom, and versus how many times you haven't?
Well, I wore a condom every first trip because I don't know these girls, but after I've been in a relationship.
No. Stop.
Go ahead.
After you had sex with them one time, do you wear a condom with them the next time?
See, that's my thing. I don't really spin back sometimes.
This nigga here, boy, he spin master. He's spinning master. God damn it. All right.
I don't spin back. So if I didn't spin back, then
what's up, Benny?
You gotta ask Courtesy if on the first try he keeps it on the whole time.
Hey, Currency! Whoa!
Facts. Hold the whole time. You switch up.
Currency, you never took it off. Currency, you don't take it off in the middle of the mid swing.
Nah, that's stealthing, bro. That's dirty. We don't do that.
Wow, I think you lying, Currency. Your PTR tells me that you're lying, Currency.
Nah, never.
Look at this face. Look at this face, people.
I'll give you your assumption, but that's not what happens.
I'm just messing with you. Giving you a hard time.
I'm from the Bronx, but
Oh, you from the Bronx? You definitely take off the
That was a
condom.
horrible thing to say. You definitely take it off.
You just killed your whole testimony.
Yo,
I know.
Your Honor, I didn't do it, but I'm from the Bronx.
Shit happens.
Yo, oh man,
I do agree with you, Broadway. Though I think a lot of times when we're talking on this app about things, we talk about the black and white.
Yeah.
But in real life, we operate in that gray area.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Most of us will not admit it here on the app because a lot of times we speak out of other people's experiences and not our own. And so, you know, it's rare that you find somebody that's truthful and transparent enough to be like, yeah, I can totally understand where this person is coming from because I have been in this situation myself. But oftentimes we don't want to put that light on us because it may destroy the bias that we want to create in regards to our image on this app. You know,
So, Luna,
but real life
Wake that
shit,
up.
like real life
Speaking
shit.
of truth, Luna, I got a question for you.
Some of us have been in those situations, like even with sleeping with somebody without a condom on in first meeting them. Like, you know, I can be bold enough to say I've done that before and I regretted it after, not because because so many things were going through my mind.
Did it feel good, Luna? Luna, did it feel good?
It absolutely felt good.
And did you call him daddy?
Saying?
Did you call him daddy?
Did you call him daddy?
Hell, he ain't like you got to earn daddy.
Luna, you called him daddy, Luna. Luna, you called him daddy, Luna.
Nah, he
Luna,
earned daddy.
you felt that
You
felt that pulsation. You called him daddy, Luna.
Okay, Luna, I got a confession.
Go for it, Sean.
Go ahead, Usher.
I have 6 kids and a possible. That's my confession.
Possible.
That's a possible.
What's the possible?
What's the possible?
Luna on that swing.
The possible is that I think that I met Luna somewhere before, and no, I'm just messing around. No.
Luna ain't got no kids, none. I ain't got none over this way. We good.
I'm joking about the whole thing, but I tease my homeboys about 3 and a possible or 4 and a possible because the possible is that one that could be theirs, but they ain't claiming yet.
Hey, listen, let me tell you this. If I was single, I would come in this pod and I would lie playfully and say, yo, I had sex with X person and carry on the whole charade to the end of the pod. You get what I'm saying? Just to get underneath somebody's feathers. I want to open up the platform to final thoughts. Oh man, tonight was a dope podcast. But you know what we're striving for this podcast, this season 6, we're striving for solutions. We're striving to be solution based. So we had a lot of different conversations, but I think it all goes back to independent women stem from undependable men. And I want you guys to offer solutions on the daddy situation that we spoke about, on the 7 kids by 7 different women, right? The independent women stemming from undependable men. You get what I'm saying? So what are the solutions? We spoke about a lot tonight. And I'm gonna take this moment to briefly play some of the clips that we spoke about tonight because I want you guys to make informed assessments inside of giving your critique in how to get to the solution. What's the solution? People that's watching us, that's listening to us on the podcast, let's pour and lend value into these topics that we spoke about tonight. Live on Broadway podcast, you know the vibe. Check it out. Let's talk about it.
If you are a man and you can't pay all the bills, I do not want you to join any masculine modern women conversations. If you are a man and you can't pay all the bills, I do not want you to join any masculine modern women conversations. If you are not a man that can provide a safe space for her to be vulnerable enough to embrace her femininity with you, then shut the fuck up. If you don't provide and protect emotionally, financially, spiritually, at a high level, shut the fuck up from a woman that can provide for herself. Quit complaining about these independent women. If you not a man, it's going to be a solution to that. The reason why there's so many independent women out here is because like you be so not dependable. If you provide her with a hard life, don't complain about the fact that when she come in your life, she not being soft. You want a woman to be submissive to you when you can't even submit the full rent payment? All y'all do is offer stress and headaches and wondering why this woman ain't your piece.
Let's talk about it.
Y'all aren't man enough, and
I
that's why
mean,
women have to.
the
Hold on,
message
King.
is
Hold on.
good.
I hate that for us, but I can
The
explain.
message is
You
good.
Hold on,
I
King.
man of your word.
Oh, my fault, my
that
fault.
anything that comes out your mouth, I could damn near take it as law, without question. Y'all aren't man enough, and that's why women have to live in reality. I hate that for us, but I can explain. You should be such a man of your word that anything that comes out your mouth, I could damn near take it as law, without question. It should literally be as simple as, hey babe, I need this done. Him. Alright, I'll get it done. Me. You know what? I really appreciate you. You want your steak ducked? I don't even ask for a time frame so that later on I could be like, hey babe, you remember when you said you would? No. He said he's gonna get it done, so I know it's gonna get done. I should be so sure that you're aware of our surroundings, looking out for me and protecting me, that I don't even look both ways when we're walking together crossing the street. Like I'm up in La La Land trying to record the sky because the sunset is pretty and the clouds came out perfect. And literally, I know that you're going to stick your arm out like a mama that broke too hard in the car to protect me because I'm like one pace behind you if there's any danger. I should honestly kind of be a little bit scared to tell you if a man is like trying me or something, because I know like for certain there's gonna be one less person above earth if I do. The bottom of the barrel, bare minimum basic thing that women want from men is a man that does what he says he's gonna do. A man that can provide some form of financial stability and shelter. And a man that makes me feel safe in a world that is very, very scary. I'm genuinely curious as to what you think the benefit would be to a woman conceptualizing the hardships of this world and enduring it with you. Like what?
I got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the
That's
abortion.
always love.
Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I...
Man, listen. Live on Broadway podcast. Final thoughts. Tap in with me, Giants. How you guys feel? Tell me something real. Everybody don't speak at the same time. Go for it.
Are you going in order?
No, not necessarily.
All right, final thoughts. First one, Ace Metaphor. He always makes references of what men should do. There are a lot of rich men who can provide all that he said that are straight assholes. So that doesn't always apply. Just because a lot of times when you are in that space, you are using that space as a control when you are an asshole. And so I will say, stop allowing asshole men who have been successful and got some money to be the ones that you're attracted to.
Make
I
it
said
make
it once.
sense.
Yeah, I said it once. I say it again. Look for a real good man instead of a feel good man. That man that he's describing will make you feel good. But the question is he real good? The lady, she said everything that I can agree with. You want somebody who's going to be real with you. Bottom line, if they can be real with you, that's where your security, where your love, ambition should come from, because you actually are finding a man who is, again, a real good man. He's being real with you. Lastly, that other cat, as much as I don't really agree with what he's saying, he was straight up saying it. And I say, how can you get fooled so many times? So many get fooled because, again, they're looking for a feel-good man instead of a real good man. So they give them the ways to their cookies. And when I say ways, I'm not saying W-A-Y-S. I'm saying W-A-Z-Y. You give them the blueprint to your cookies by telling them everything you want, and they just lie to you and do everything that you say. Get to the cookies, and you mad because you fell for the okie doke, because it sounded good, because he looked good, because if he's attractive, you give him, when the ways go and says turn right and you make the left turn, you'll get direction, and you give him the ways right back to the cookies because you're attracted to him and you want him to take the cookies. And then when he get the cookies, you mad that he got the cookies because he's a no good asshole. So just be more mindful, pay attention to details, and take your time before you go ahead and give somebody the ways route to your cookies.
Well said, Sean. Well said. Tap in. Final thoughts. We looking for solutions. Tap in with us. Live on Broadway podcast.
I like the message. I don't like the messenger. So I'm not even going to say that man name. But what I will say, due to this conversation, I would say you have to have more conversation before sleeping with someone. What I started doing last year, I would ask, like, hey, do you want to have kids? But or are you looking to have kids? Things of that nature. If they don't have any. And I will ask all four quantums of that section. Like, if I don't want the kid, you want the kid, what's going to happen? If you want the kid, like, I would ask all four so I know all four results of how it will happen if something happened. You know what I mean? I don't want nothing left in the dark. I don't want to wait last minute, none of that nature. So I feel like more people need to have more conversation before getting deeply involved with somebody else.
Wake it up. I appreciate that, beloved. Shout out to Currency. Tap in. We're not going in any particular order. Anybody that got some solution-based?
I'm gonna tap in, Way.
Go for it, King.
As far as the first dude, I don't, just like the other brother was saying, you can't really make finances equal to love or finances equal to happiness. But everybody does have their preference also. That's another thing we got to remember. So these women that choose to deal with men like that, that's their preference. That might make her feel good. You know what I'm saying? Another woman might not feel good from that. So it's all about, what your preference is. There's people out here who prefer that. Like, okay, she's going to accept that. She's going to perform under those standards. She's going to be happy under those standards. And you know what I'm saying? She's going to remain under those standards. That's all a opinion thing. As far as the second female that was speaking about all the things she was saying, I feel like that's true indeed, because your word is your bond. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have your word, you don't have anything.
Very true.
And if you simply can't do something, don't agree to it. It's like, that's what people have problems doing, just saying like, yo, I can't produce that, or I can't do this, I can't do that. If you can't do that, keep it a band and say you can't do it. Towards the end, if you ask me personally, she got a little crazy with the whole thing about somebody being left not on the earth, because that makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have a beautiful woman, unless she's trapped in a 1-bedroom apartment all day and never goes outside, men are gonna try to, you know what I'm saying? So why would you want your man jumping all over the place because another man, you know what I'm saying? That part made no sense. The last dude, in my opinion, like, I feel like any dude who voluntarily, even if the female let you, if you busting up and shit and you know that you're not gonna take care of these kids you're making, shouldn't be doing it. But that's probably something that, could be a problem he has with himself. Like, some might come from somebody who didn't take care of him, and his pop told him that straight shit, and he had to accept it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not a line. That's not a line that hasn't been used in our community.
Very true.
I told your mother I ain't want to have you. You know what I'm saying? And when that takes place, in my opinion, if you're, you know what I'm saying, you are a stand-up human, whether you agree to have that child or not, if that female has that child and you're a stand-up human, you're gonna play your part. If not, that's kind of, your choice. But we got to just do, what makes us happy, because there's different strokes for different folks. So If you like to be in those standards that the brother was talking about, rock on if that make you happy. If you like to be in them standards that homegirl was talking about, rock on if it make you happy. You know?
Wow. Wow, appreciate that, collectors. Tap in with me. Go for it, Tay-Rock.
Oh, I just have a just basic summary overall. It just could be applied to anything of all the topics we spoke tonight. So my thing is this: people will say anything to justify their actions without wanting to accept responsibility or accept accountability. So pay attention to that, ladies and gentlemen. End of the day, listen as well as watch and observe, and people cannot help but to tell on themselves. And you make a judgment call based off of that, and I part.
Simple, quick to the point, but I'm here for it. Solutions. We looking for solutions. Tap in with me, David Lopez. Solutions.
Yes. Work on yourself. Work within. Happiness comes from within. And once you do that, you find peace and happiness within. You're gonna attract that Russell Wilson. You're gonna stop fucking with the futures and all of that. I mean, that might not be politically correct, but I'm sure Future's more mature than he was years ago. But that was the thing. Ciara met a Russell Wilson, a God-fearing man who's mature, more sophisticated, who's ready to raise a family and be a married man. So I'll land there, bro. Work on yourself. Find peace within.
I love it. Love to hear it. Who we got? We got Benoit, DWI, and Allison. Have at it.
Focus on yourself, Queen. That's all.
Focus on yourself, Queen. That's the way you arrive to your happy place. Focus on yourself. D, we'll let Allison go last because this was brought to you in part by her. Tap in with me, D. He's probably away from his mic. Go for it, Allie.
I do what makes me happy, and if it involves calling him daddy, then so be it, because what turns him on turns me on. And yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
I love to hear it, God damn it. What turns him on turns me on. Woo! Might be the name of the podcast. Anyway, D, tap in. You got something?
Yeah, I'm good. You got me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So this is a shout out to all the women that want to live in the Little House Prairie lifestyle in the George Jetson frame of mind that we're in right now. If that's what you want to do, then that's cool. And whatever guy that can afford to do that, then that's cool too. But don't be surprised when your ass be enslaved, connected to a radiator, and you can't go outside no more. Like, keep all that money in the house. Exclusion deduct, but you'll be trapped.
Oh man.
Yeah, Nikki in the chat says her solution is to divest.
Divest? I'm done. Yeah, we spoke about a lot tonight. Final thoughts on Broadway. All right, so if we starting from the top down, I believe that, again, I kind of said this earlier, but like we got to start looking within opposed looking out. Stop blaming men. Stop blaming women, right? The same difference, but I'm going to get to the women portion of it in a second. I think in order for us to be great at life and in life, we have to recognize our own shortcomings and deal with ourselves first, long before we start sharing ourselves with anybody. Friendship, co-workers, intimate involvements, all the same, right? We got to start looking within, and do the work. And when I say do the work, I don't mean, a year or two. Take a little moment. And even when you come back from your hiatus, doesn't mean you aren't going to be effed around. It just means that this moment in particular is for you. Get what I'm saying? And you're learning yourself. And just as you grow apart from people, there's things and rationales and things there's people on Instagram that you grow apart from wanting to see their content. You no longer care to see it anymore. It's the same difference. Certain things you gotta let go of and usher new things in, right? I say to my lady all the time, she gets on me, yo, you throw away all these clothes. Why you? Because I'm stepping into something new. I need to step into something new. I need to get rid of the old stuff, and I can't get to the new stuff if I keep holding on to the old stuff. So sometimes to step into something new, we got to let go of something old. You get what I'm saying? So that brings us to, should you call him daddy if he ain't your father? I personally feel as though, yes, call him daddy. Call him whatever it is he wants to be identified as long as he's not taking the shortcut home. Let me say that again. As long as he's not taking the shortcut home. What is the shortcut home? I'm glad you asked. The shortcut home is doing the things that aren't going to benefit you guys in the long run, right? Somebody that you respect and you want your kids to be like, somebody that you honor, somebody that you can see your life with, not just anybody, right? Identify him as something if you don't want to call him daddy. Something very specific to his characteristics. But that doesn't supersede what his wants and desires are. If he wants you to call him daddy, call him daddy. What does it cost you? Right? I like what Sean said earlier about maybe you not wanting to call him daddy is an image and reflection of what you're really dealing with. That was a bar, Sean. So I just really want to highlight that. I conclude with 7 kids by 7 different women. Man. Shit. Maybe homie was making that good of a living, because I heard him say something about child support and he's not picking up the phone for them. Maybe homie made a good living, and we all know some women, not all women, go after that. But I don't want to blame it on the women. I want to keep it on him because he's the one that's being the deadbeat. Men, we got to do better. And this is a byproduct of exactly what Ace was talking about in the beginning segment, right? You can't identify people and soup their head up. I'm old school, right? Soup their head up, make them believe something that may be not true if you don't see that in them. It's the difference between saying something to get somebody to do something you want, honestly seeing that in them. You get what I mean? I think we got to do better as men so that we can build up enough inequity so that our women trust and believe in our way. Collector said earlier, word is bond. Your word means everything, right? If you're saying something and you're doing something else, love is an action word. Then you don't love the person. You don't love them, right? And I want to say, I want to double down on that, ladies. Stop being women, ladies. Stop being governed by what he's saying if he's not doing it. If he's not rising to the occasion, he's only talking and it sounds great and he's not doing it, why are you there? I'm not saying that he doesn't have ambitions to eventually do it, but if he's making more promises and doing less work, it should never be like that. He should be doing more work and making less promises. You get what I'm saying? Tonight was a dope podcast. Shout out to Allison. I love this topic, Queen, and I know that everybody else did as well. I love when we can come up here on a platform and have these conversations respectfully and use our words, because we're trying to cut back on the profanity a lot. You know, we want this to be a very passionate, eager, but respectful conversation when driving certain points home. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Allison. I really love this topic. Independent women stem from undependable men, because it actually puts us in a hot seat. And even though I disagree with it, I think that it is a conversation that was necessary to have, because we need to be held accountable. And we need to be held accountable respectfully by our black and brown women, because it sounds different when your mother tells you something versus when a perfect stranger tells you something. So we need you ladies, our black and brown women, to tell us and hold us accountable for our own actions, because we know respectfully, you're beating us out of love and not out of hate or anything else outside of love. You get what I mean? Live on Broadway podcast. I appreciate you guys tapping in with us tonight. Collectors, you know, big vibes on that side. Event space coming this spring. Vanilla Skies. God damn it. Let me pop my shit for a second. I'm in there day and night and on Sundays. This spot is going to be unlike nothing else. We doing wedding situations. We're doing receptions. We're doing We're doing podcasts. Wake it up. Yeah, I said it. You get what I'm saying? If you want to do a podcast, if you got ambitions to tap in and want to, listen. We gonna come, you gonna come in, we gonna produce it from the top to the bottom of it. You get what I'm saying? Live on Broadway podcast will be operating out of Vanilla Skies moving forward in 2023. Hello! This is going to be amazing. Jersey, we coming with all the energy. It's going to be amazing. Jersey City, I'm excited to show you guys what's happening. We're going to have a nice grand opening, and you will be invited. We're going to put the email list together and send it out to everybody, so please drop me your email. Jump in my DM. IM_Broadway by way of Instagram. Tap in with us. This is going to be special, man. I'm talking fashion shows. I'm talking September fashion. New York Fashion Week is coming around, and this is going to be amazing. I can't wait to share this amazing and share this and have this amazing journey with you guys. Shout out to everybody that's been showing us love. We've been doing some great things, and a man is going to put forth his energy and his I'm running out of words to say now. I'm just rambling. But a man's gonna put his energy and stock into
vision.
Thank you. He's gonna put his stock and words into his vision, and he's gonna showcase it as such. Live on Broadway podcast. I appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. You know my vibes. It's cheaper to be yourself. Be giant. Pool. Clip.
Do you have relationship questions you need answered? Spicy topics? DM us at Live on Broadway Podcast. Have music, products, or an ad you want us to run? Email us at Live on Broadway Podcast. Be sure to tap in. Mondays, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live on IM_Broadway's Instagram. Clear.